All right, let's start with a challenge. Do you love Patrick Mahomes? If the answer is yes, then prove it. Hit that like button right now. Let's make sure our voices are heard loud and clear. Who knows? Maybe Mahomes himself, a teammate, or even a family member is watching. Let's show them that Chiefs Kingdom stands behind QB1 no matter what. Now, let's talk about something that could shake things up in Kansas City. The latest buzz in the NFL world is about a potential move that has fans talking. Could six-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Keenan Allen be on his way to the Chiefs? A recent report from Athlon Sports suggests that Kansas City should consider signing the veteran WR in free agency. Even with Juju Smith-Schuster back in the mix, adding another reliable target for Mahomes could be a game-changer. So what do you think? Would you like to see Keenan Allen in a Chiefs uniform? Let's settle this right now. Drop a yes or no in the comments. Also, let's make this a poll. Should Kansas City focus on adding another veteran receiver, or would you rather see them build through the draft? Vote below, and let's see where the kingdom stands. But before we dive into whether this move makes sense, let's break down exactly why this rumor is even out there and what Keenan Allen could bring to this offense. Stick with me, because this could get interesting. So why is Keenan Allen's name even being linked to the Chiefs? Well, according to Athlon Sports, Kansas City's current wide receiver group has speed with guys like Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, and Hollywood Brown, but they don't have a big-bodied physical receiver who can consistently win tough matchups. That's exactly the kind of player Keenan Allen has been throughout his career. Think about it. Allen has been one of the most reliable and polished route runners in the NFL for over a decade. Even at 32 years old, he continues to be a problem for defenses. Last season, despite playing for a struggling Chicago Bears team, he still put up solid numbers: 70 catches, 1,144 yards, and 7 touchdowns. If he can do that in Chicago, imagine what he could do with Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball. Now, I know what you're thinking, but we just brought back Juju Smith-Schuster. That's true, and Juju definitely adds depth to the receiver room. But let's be honest, he's not the same caliber of player as Allen. Juju can contribute in certain spots, but he's not going to be the go-to guy in critical moments. Allen, on the other hand, has spent years being that safety blanket, the guy quarterbacks trust on third downs and in the red zone. Another important factor? Allen knows the AFC West. After spending a decade with the Chargers, he's already familiar with the teams Kansas City faces twice a year. There wouldn't be much of a learning curve. He'd fit right into the system and contribute immediately. But let's hear from you. Do you think Allen would be an upgrade over the current group of Chiefs wide receivers? Drop a comment with yes if you think he'd make a difference, or no if you'd rather stick with what we have. Now, there's still one big question we need to answer. Can the Chiefs even afford to make this move? That's where things get really interesting. Let's talk about the financial side of this next. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest advantages Kansas City has over most teams in the NFL: its championship culture. The Chiefs aren't just another franchise looking to make the playoffs. They're a dynasty in the making, and that alone gives them leverage in free agency that other teams simply don't have. Every year, we see veteran players willing to take team-friendly deals just for a shot at a Super Bowl ring. And it makes sense. If you're a player like Keenan Allen, who has accomplished a lot individually but never won a championship, Kansas City is one of the most attractive landing spots in the league. That brings us to the financial side of things. According to SpotTrack, Allen's estimated market value is around $11.1 million per year. That's a lot for the Chiefs, especially considering their current cap situation. But here's the thing. Players have taken less to play with Mahomes before. Just look at guys like Juju in 2022, or even veterans like Jerick McKinnon. If Allen is serious about winning, he might be willing to take a discount. And let's not forget, Brett Veach has a history of making moves that seem impossible on paper. Whether it's restructuring Contracts or finding hidden cap space, he always seems to find a way to get things done. If Veach and Andy Reid believe Allen could help this offense, you better believe they'll at least explore the possibility. But let me throw this question to you. If Allen is willing to sign for a team-friendly deal, should the Chiefs go after him? Type yes if you'd take him at the right price, or no if you think Kansas City should spend its money elsewhere. So, assuming the Chiefs could work out a deal, how exactly would Allen fit into this offense? Would he be a difference maker, or just another name on the depth chart? Let's break that down next. So, let's say the Chiefs managed to bring in Keenan Allen. How exactly would he fit into this offense? Well, first, let's take a look at the current wide receiver group. Right now, Kansas City has Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, and Juju Smith-Schuster as the main weapons at wide receiver. Rice showed flashes of becoming a legitimate WR1. Before his injury, Worthy has game-breaking speed, and Brown, if healthy, can be a reliable deep threat. Juju, on the other hand, is more of a role player at this stage. While that's a solid group, there's still something missing. A big-bodied, reliable possession receiver who can consistently win one-on-one battles. That's exactly what Allen would bring. He's not the fastest guy on the field, but he doesn't need to be. His crisp, route-running, strong hands, and ability to create separation with technique rather than speed make him an ideal target for Mahomes in key situations. Imagine Mahomes needing a 3rd and 7 conversion. Allen is the kind of guy who gets open in those moments and moves the chains. Let's talk numbers. Last season, Allen had 70 catches for 1,144 yards and 7 touchdowns in Chicago, playing in an offense that wasn't exactly explosive. If he put up those numbers with the Bears, just imagine what he could do in Kansas City's high-powered system. Even if he didn't have another 100-yard season, his presence alone would open up the field for guys like Worthy and Rice. And don't forget, this is an offense run by Andy Reid. If there's one thing Reid does better than almost anyone, it's maximizing the strengths of his players. He'd find ways to get Allen involved, whether that's as a red zone target, a safety valve over the middle, or even a decoy to draw coverage away from the younger playmakers. But here's something to think about. Would signing Allen take away snaps from guys like Worthy or Rice who are still developing? Would it make more sense for Kansas City to add a younger receiver through the draft instead? Let me know what you think in the comments. Should the Chiefs invest in a proven veteran or continue building with younger talent? Now, we've talked about the pros and cons, but there's still one big question left to answer. Should the Chiefs actually pull the trigger and sign Keenan Allen? Let's wrap it up next. All right, let's say the Chiefs make the move and bring Keenan Allen to Kansas City. What would that actually look like on the field? First, let's take a quick look at the current wide receiver room. Right now, the Chiefs have Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, and Juju Smith-Schuster as the top options. Rice is expected to take another big step forward. Worthy is an exciting young talent, and Brown, when healthy, brings a deep threat element to the offense. But here's the problem. None of them bring the skill set that Allen does. Allen would give the Chiefs a true possession receiver, someone Mahomes could rely on in third-down situations and the red zone. His ability to run crisp routes and find soft spots in coverage would be a perfect fit in Andy Reid's system. Think about how Travis Kelce operates, always in the right place at the right time. That's the kind of awareness Allen brings to the field. Another factor to consider is the pressure it would take off the younger receivers. With Allen in the mix, defenses wouldn't be able to key in on Rice or Worthy as easily. That extra attention on Allen would open up opportunities for the rest of the offense, making life even easier for Mahomes. Let's not forget his production. Even with the Chicago Bears' offensive struggles last season, Allen still managed 70 catches, 144 yards, and 7 touchdowns. If he can put up those numbers with inconsistent quarterback play, imagine what he could do in an offense run by Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Now, here's a question for you. If the Chiefs don't sign Allen, should they look for a similar type of receiver in the draft, or do you think the current group is good enough as is? Drop your thoughts in the comments. So, we've covered the rumors, the financials, and how Allen would fit into the system. But now, the big question, should the Chiefs actually make this move? Let's get to the final verdict.